Hello, I'm reading from a copy of Self-Realization Fellowship Lessons that I downloaded from angelfire.com. I'm starting at the top of page 6, S1P4. When you behold, assembled all at once beneath the canopy of your perfected universal friendship, the souls of the past, present, and future, then the friendship thirst of your heart will be quenched forever. Then God's creation will ring with the emancipating song of all difference dissolving celestial friendship. Then the divine friend will rejoice to see you come home after your evolutional wanderings and roamings through the pathways of incarnations. Then he and you will merge into the bliss of eternal friendship. Only mutual effort to build wisdom and spiritual and intuitive understanding can bind two souls by the laws of everlasting divine love. When true friendship exists between two souls, they seek spiritual love and God's love together. When their only wish is to be of service to each other, their friendship produces the flame of spirit. Through perfected divine friendship, mutually seeking spiritual perfection, they find the great friend. No one who fails to inspire confidence in other hearts, no man who fails to inspire confidence in other hearts and who is unable to extend the kingdom of his love and friendliness into other soul territories can hope to expand his consciousness into cosmic consciousness. If you cannot conquer human hearts, you cannot conquer the cosmic heart of God. All this may seem very complicated, but when you touch the infinite, your difficulties will melt away. Divine love will come to you. Beautiful, intuitive experiences of universal friendliness will play like fountains in your mind. Keep in mind this prayer. O divine friend, let those who are my own come unto me. Finding them, may I perfect our friendship and find friendship with all. Thus may I find thee. Thoughts to remember. Making others happy through kindness of speech and sincerity of right advice is a sign of true greatness. To hurt another soul by sarcastic words, looks, or suggestions is despicable. Sarcasm draws out the rebellious spirit and anger in the wrongdoer. Loving suggestions bring out repentance in him. Repentance consists in thoroughly understanding one's own error and in abandoning it. Friendship is pure by nature. When you have a lily in your hands, how can you crush it? When you love a person dearly, how can you hurt him even though he may be wrong? Divine love is unlimited and infinite. When two or more persons are friends always, no matter what happens, that is an expression of divine love or divine friendship. Affirmation. Today I will forgive all those who have offended me, and I will give my love to all thirsty hearts, both of those who love me, both to those that love me and to those that do not love me. Self-Realization Fellowship Lesson, S1P5. We are part of thy changeless being, by Paramahansa Yogananda. O Spirit, we toss and dance on the waves of thy creation. Make us realize thy presence beneath the waves of illusion. O Spirit, divert our eyes within to see the vastness of thy glory behind all appearances. O beloved immortality, teach us to behold thy vastness, thy changelessness behind all things, that we may perceive ourselves not as part of the change, but as part of thy changeless being. We shed our tears of light through the eyes of stars at the feet of the blue. Father, receive our gathered tears of light to wash thy feet of immortality. We are thy children, thou art ours. Make us realize this truth. From the incense vase of our hearts we offer unto thee the fragrance of our love. May we not become enthralled by passing desires, but be awakened to thy glory. May we dissolve this dream of delusion and behold thee, the only reality. Make us immortal stars in the firmament of thy being. Goodwill unto all religions, peace unto all people, peace unto all nations, peace unto all creatures, peace unto all that lives. Father, Mother, friend, beloved God, recharge our beings with thy power, recharge our minds with thine efficiency, recharge our souls with thine everlasting wisdom. May we cast away all feelings of identification with the limitations of the body. In every cell of our being may we feel thy joy and the peace of meditation. Prayer. O Spirit, teach me to heal the body by recharging it with thy cosmic energy, to heal the mind by concentration and smiles, and to free the soul from ignorance by meditation-born intuition. The Art of Energization, Part 1. The physical body is constantly changing. Physical change, such as the body undergoes in disease or death, does not mean annihilation. It means certain changes of motion that we human beings sometimes fear and dislike. The nature of matter is change. The nature of spirit is changelessness. The millions of tiny cells that make up our flesh and bones are full of life and activity. The human body, which looks so compact and solid, is in fact nothing but a bundle of motions, of forces whirling together in ultra-rapid motion. In order to keep the activities of the bodily cells in motion, certain external factors are necessary. The ultraviolet rays of sunshine, oxygen, nourishing foods, pure liquids such as water and fruit juices. But more important, the body's living cells are created and energized internally by thoughts and by biological forces. From an inner spiritual source, the various chemical, molecular, atomic, and other motions of the bodily cells are constantly flooded with subtler rejuvenating motions of consciousness, subconsciousness, superconsciousness, Christ consciousness, and cosmic consciousness. The vital sparks of intelligent energy that constitute life are but condensed thoughts of God. Without these vital sparks of life, the external sources of bodily energy are of no avail in maintaining life in the body. The importance of depending more and more upon the limitless supply of energy available from the inner source of cosmic consciousness and less upon other sources of bodily energy now become clear. Healthful food is necessary, but eating all the time will only make the body grow old more quickly. The only way to keep the body really rejuvenated is to unite human consciousness and cosmic consciousness through meditation. Avoid any suggestion to the mind of human limitations, sickness, old age, death. Instead, one should constantly impress the mind with this truth: I am the infinite that has become the body. The body is a manifestation of spirit, is the ever youthful spirit. The first process of energizing the body is to supply it with the basic elements of food chemicals that it needs, plus sunshine from regular sun baths, parentheses, a half-hour sun bath twice a week or preferably 10 minutes every day, parentheses. The sufficient oxygen from regular proper breathing. The following exercise will be found beneficial. Breathing exercise. While walking, as we should do every day, inhale, counting 1 to 12. Hold the breath 12 counts, then exhale, counting 1 to 12. Do this 24 times every time you are out walking. Ordinarily, people concentrate only upon food, air, and sunshine to keep the body well. But a time may come when health fails in spite of an abundant supply of these external sources of life. The realization then comes that this body battery must also be recharged by the inner source. Bread, parentheses, i.e. food, alone does not support life. If it did, one could put food into the body of a dead man, lay him out in the sun, and expect him to come to life. The power that creates life, that enables the body to convert food and air into energy, that is the direct source of life. The life of an automobile battery depends not merely upon distilled water indirectly supplied from outside, but upon the vibrating electric current flowing through it, through the mouth of the wires from the engine. Similarly, man's body battery does not live solely by means of indirect outer sources, food, oxygen, liquid, sunshine, but by the direct inner source of the will, which causes vibrating life current from the invisible dynamo of cosmic energy to flow into the body through the medulla oblongata, the mouth of God. Parentheses, the medulla is located in the base of the brain where the back of the skull joins the neck. It is electricity that changes the distilled water into the force that recharges the automobile battery. It is the life energy that converts oxygen, solids, and liquids into the force that keeps us alive. It is the same life energy that made solids and liquids what they are. When we put them into our stomachs, they must again be converted into energy before they are of any use to the body. And when the energy that is in them is taken out, it is life energy that forces the residue of this mass of waste material out of the body through the pores, intestines, and kidneys. Just as distilled water, parentheses, the outer source of sustenance, alone will not sustain life in the automobile battery or bring life back to the battery after it is dead, so oxygen, solids, liquids, and sunshine alone will not help a dead body battery. The body must also have life energy. God, the original source of energy. The medulla oblongata is the original point of intake of the life force as it comes from God. The medulla oblongata is called the mouth of God because it is where God breathes life force into man. Do not confuse this with the Bible passage that reads, God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life and man became a living soul. Genesis 2:7. An explanation of the foregoing verse is given in the lessons on Genesis. Of all the body parts, only the medulla oblongata cannot be operated upon by the surgeon. Why? Because it is the center of all the centers of life in the brain and the spine. It is the one center through which the life force enters the body. The heart, brain, and cervical, dorsal, lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal centers of the spine are minor centers, acting merely as distributors of that life force they receive through the medulla oblongata. How to recharge the body with energy. Science has proved that everything is being constantly recharged by cosmic energy. The human body is surrounded by a halo of conscious cosmic energy. The medulla oblongata is the antenna of the bodily receiving station that receives the radiographed cosmic energy from the cosmic consciousness through the bodily radio operator, will. Just as a man can use the invisible vibratory waves of radio to control far distant ships on the sea, so God, through vibrations of his intelligent cosmic energy, supplies our bodies with a life force without any visible connection. God created the original cosmic vibration or energy which, once started, became perpetual, and by wireless willpower we can draw upon it and bring it into the body through the medulla oblongata. This cosmic energy, the same energy out of which we and everything else in the universe were created, surrounds and permeates all creation, all the time. It enters the body through the mouth of God, medulla oblongata, and is the invisible word that sustains all life. We can learn to live more and more by that eternal supply of cosmic energy which is always all about us and thus ever available to us for recharging the body with vitality. One may use the knowledge gained from these instructions to make the body fit in every way. A body that is free from disease and weakness presents less resistance to the meditation methods and practices by which self-realization is attained and by which human consciousness as well as the body is raised to the fatigueless state. Self-realization may be and sometimes is attained even by people who are struggling with sick and otherwise imperfect bodies. but it cannot be attained unless one can concentrate and meditate uninterruptedly upon God. Since it is difficult to concentrate and meditate while the aches and pains of the body continually have the attention of the mind, the path to self-realization is made much easier if the imperfections of the body are eliminated and if the operation of its functions are so harmoniously arranged that the mind need not at any time be interrupted in meditation because of the demands of the physical body. By constantly holding the peaceful after effects of meditation in mind, by believing in eternal life instead of the illusionary changes we behold in this life, and by feeling the ocean of immortal bliss (God) underlying the changeable waves of experience of past lives and the waves of perceptions of childhood, youth, and age in this life, we can bring about not only the perpetually youthful consciousness of the soul, but also maintain youthfulness of the body if so desired. If the body is found to be not isolated from spirit, but a number of rising and falling waves of vibrating currents in the ocean of cosmic consciousness, we may implant in the body the perpetually rejuvenating power of spirit. Self-realization defined. Self-realization is the knowing in body, mind, and soul that we are one with the omnipresence of God, that we do not have to pray that it comes to us, that we are not merely near it at all times, but that God's omnipresence is our omnipresence, that we are just so much a part of Him now as we ever will be. All we have to do is improve our knowing. Self-realization means knowledge of one's own soul and of its oneness with the Father. So long as it dwells on the material plane, human consciousness cannot encompass the universal Christ consciousness, no matter how desirous of it may be of doing so. By practice of scientific concentration and meditation techniques taught in the Self-Realization Fellowship Lessons, the sincere student can increase and refine the receptivity of his consciousness so that he may ultimately perceive the Christ consciousness universally present in every atom of creation. St. John referred to this explanation of the human consciousness to receive the divine when he declared of Christ, "But as many as received me, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name." St. John 1:12. Thus, according to the Bible, all men may discover their actual oneness with Christ consciousness. By intuitive self-realization or knowledge of his own soul, man becomes aware of his oneness with the Christ consciousness. Those who attain the highest self-realization know without any doubt that they are the sons of God. Thoughts to remember. Health and strength are not synonymous terms. A person may have cultivated great strength in his limbs or in certain muscles by the use of mechanical appliances, but still he may not have good health. The healthy action of the lungs and stomach, for example, is far more important than abnormal strength in the arms, legs, or back. Self-realization fellowship lessons faithfully practiced will be found to be a sure, effective combatant against bodily disease and inharmonious conditions of the mind, acting as a healing balm for nervous afflictions and abnormalities. With the aid of these lessons, the general vitality can be definitely raised, resulting in a wonderful development of tissue strength and nerve vigor, and thereby ensuring longer life. Memory and brain power may also be increased through greater blood supply. These lessons also teach us to send the curative energy consciously to any diseased body part. Affirmation. O eternal energy, awaken within me conscious will, conscious vitality, conscious health, conscious realization, goodwill to all, vitality to all, good health to all, realization to all. O eternal youth of body and mind, abide in me forever and forever. Self-Realization Fellowship Lesson S1P6. Receive the Fervor of Our Souls by Paramahansa Yogananda. Divine Father, bless our thoughts that they may remind us of Thy bliss. Bless our feelings that they may feel Thee alone. Bless our desires that they may seek Thee alone. And bless our ambitions that we may be ambitious only for Thee. Thou art the nectar which our souls seek. May we feel Thy vibrations, and feeling them may we remain awakened. We offer our humble prayers for a prosperity in Thee, a new consciousness in Thee, a mental power within. Bless all who have helped to spread Thy message, Thy living fire on earth. Be Thou manifest within them. Receive the blossoms of our hearts, the fervor of our souls. Thou art our one Father, seated on the throne of our united hearts. Receive the offering of our devotion. Bless us all, destroy all barriers, ignite our ignorance, establish Thy light evermore. Prayer. O help me, O Spirit, to learn more and more by... Help me, O Spirit, to learn to live more and more by direct cosmic energy and less by food. Being energy burning in the bulb of the senses, I recharge myself with Thy cosmic energy. The Art of Energization, Part 2. Physical body, a bundle of motions. The physical body is a bundle of motions, a combination of cells composed of moving molecules, which in turn are made up of whirling atoms composed of protons, electrons, neutrons, positrons, and mesons, whirling in the relatively immense space within each atom. These minute, semi-intelligent forms are manifestation of sparks of thought from the infinite intelligence, God. Underlying the chemical motion in cells are dancing waves of molecular motion, beneath which surge waves of atomic motion. Below the atomic layer are waves of electronic and protonic motion, hiding in turn bright waves of dancing sparks, the vital forces. Underlying these expressions of light energy are waves of sensation, and deeper still are waves of thought, feeling, and will force. Hidden at the very bottom of all these waves of various motions of life is the ego. Ego is soul in the delusive state of being identified with the physical body. Although the body appears to be a solid mass of limited proportions, occupying but a small area of space, the cells that compose the body are manifestations of a vast ocean of molecular waves. The molecular waves of the body are manifestations of still greater ocean of atomic waves. Atomic waves are manifestations of immense ocean of electrons, protons, and other atomic particles. The waves of protons, electrons, etc. are manifestations of vaster oceans of vital force. The vital force, parentheses, or life energy, is a manifestation of the measureless powers of all forms of subconsciousness, superconsciousness, Christ consciousness, and cosmic consciousness. As a manifestation of chemical motion, the body appears small, but since these chemical motions of the bodily cells are actually condensed waves of cosmic consciousness, the body is potentially vast and omnipresent. Tissue is the general name for all the different cellular groupings of which body organs are composed. The same invisible force that makes tissues of some cells so arrange other cells as to form hard bones, wonderfully worked into a skeletal frame around which flesh can cling, and others form the bloodstream. It is strange that the body has to be kept alive by external forces of food, chemicals, and sunshine, instead of simply being flooded with vitality from the inner source of cosmic consciousness. But the body, as a mass of cellular motion, cannot live without motion. Its cells have to be kept stirred with life by external food sources and kept dancing with vitality derived from the internal source. Power of will. Concentration on the muscles, as in the practice of mechanical physical exercises, tends to make one think of himself as a physical being only. Self-realization fellowship instructions teach the science of concentrating on the inner life energy and the willpower, and thus awakening one's consciousness of his subtle spiritual nature. Strength comes from within, not from the muscles. Life is sustained from the powers within. It does not depend solely upon food or exercise. Example: a dead man artificially made to exercise with dumbbells does not become strong, nor does stuffing his stomach with food bring him back to life, because life energy is absent. Self-realization fellowship instructions teach one to spiritualize the body, to perceive it as a reflection of spirit, and to think of oneself as the divine life energy that sustains the body, rather than as a mere physical vehicle consisting of bones and muscles of a certain volume and weight. You will be shown how energy can be made to permeate the body by tension, and how it can be withdrawn from the body by relaxation. Life energy is expended in all processes of thought, feeling, and physical activity. Self-realization fellowship techniques, when practiced correctly, and replenish the energy by tapping its source, the medulla oblongata. Life energy can be continually supplied to the body from this source by stimulating the medulla oblongata center with conscious will. The power of will bridges the gulf between the life energy in the body and the cosmic energy surrounding it. By keeping in touch with the cosmic source of life energy, it is possible to work without fatigue. All our limbs and muscles are moved by the exercise of will and life energy. The flow of life energy into the sensory nerves is caused by divine will and our own will together. The flow of this energy into the motor nerves is caused by our own will. Always remember, the greater the exertion of will, the greater the flow of life energy into a particular body part. When angry, human beings and animals manifest abnormal strength. No physiological improvement of the muscle fibers is possible in such a short time. The sudden accession of strength comes from the will. Anger stimulates the will, and thus causes an extra flow of strength-giving energy into the muscles and other body parts. Most physical culture systems are mechanical and do not take into account the foregoing facts. Exercises that make use only of the unconscious mechanical will are merely muscle bumping. Such exercises do not cause a sufficient flow of life energy into the muscles and tissues to be more than temporarily beneficial. By following the teachings of self-realization fellowship, you can learn how to revitalize every body cell. Relaxation means the release of the energy and consciousness that have been employed either by the body as a whole or by some of its parts during mental or physical activity. Man receives sensations coming from outside stimulation through his eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin surface by means of impulses that travel through the sensory nerves. He responds to sensations by sending energy out through the motor nerves, which cause tension and contraction of the muscles. Tension results when you will to send energy to any muscle. Lift your right arm. What powers have you used in lifting the arm? Willpower, you say. But suppose your arm were paralyzed. Your will to lift it would still be present, but you would be unable to raise the arm. Why? Because the energy could not flow freely through the nerves into the muscles of the arm, transmuting the command of your will into action. If the arm were healed, you would again be able to lift it by willpower. Now drop your right arm to your side again. Feel it throbbing with energy, but you can lift it again. But can you lift it again without using willpower? No. It is clear from this simple experiment that both energy and willpower are required in the movement of any part of the body. Energy and willpower. Raise your right arm in front of you with the palm of the hand turned upward until it is shoulder high and parallel to the ground. Close your left hand in a fist and place it on the upturned palm of the right hand, pressing downward as if your left hand weighed 5 pounds. Resist this pressure by tensing the right arm. Now increase the pressure of the left hand to 10 pounds. Will to hold it with the right hand and increase the tension in the right arm by willing to send more energy there. Now increase the pressure of the left hand to 15 pounds. Relax and drop your arms at your sides. Another experiment. Now practice this weightlifting exercise mentally without any pressure of the hand or use of weights. First, lift your right arm with the palm of the hand upturned parallel to the ground as in the first experiment. Hold it there. Realize that a certain amount of willpower, of will and energy is holding your hand in this position. If you take away the willpower from the uplifted right arm, the arm will fall, drawn by gravity, and will hang at your side. The same thing would happen if the nerves of the arm were suddenly severed or paralyzed, or if the energy in the arm were withdrawn. Now tense your upraised arm as much as would be required to hold an imaginary weight of 5 pounds. Tense it more strongly as if the imaginary weight were 10 pounds, 15 pounds. Relax the arm and let it drop to your side. It is necessary to will to hold either an actual or an imaginary weight of 5 pounds. The amount of energy required to hold that weight increases accordingly. When you will to hold an increased weight, you automatically increase your willpower, the amount of energy sent to the arm in order to hold the greater weight. Therefore, we experience weight according to the degree of willpower and the amount of energy that we spend in lifting it. The experiment of lifting imaginary weights proves that an act of will produces actual energy in a body part, and in doing so produces tension, parentheses, contraction of the muscles in that part. If one touches the two poles of an electric battery, his hands will be energized and tensed. If one drinks milk or eats food when tired, he will feel some energy in his body. In either case, one has produced this energy through some outward material agency introduced into the body. But in tensing and energizing the arm or any body part with will, as in the foregoing experiments, one produces energy in that particular body part purely by the power of consciousness or will. By imagining that one is sending energy to his right arm, he may succeed in sending a faint current there, but it is only by willpower that one can send a perceptible amount of energy. By energizing through tension, the great link between consciousness, will, and the body is found. By willing to energize the right arm, for example, we 1. Arouse energy felt as power, 2. Create tension in the muscles. This shows that consciousness, parentheses, will, is the prime factor in creating changes in the flow of energy to muscles or any body parts. Also, in lifting weights by willpower, the important relationship between will and energy are found. Okay, I'm stopping there. That is at the bottom of S1, P6, page 5.